The river gives warning this time. It begins as a sharp bark that cracks across the water, sudden and forceful, ricocheting between banks. Then, a second call answers from downstream. Within seconds, the channel fills with layered sound, whistles, growls, high-pitched screams that cut through the humid air. Bronze heads break the surface in unison. Bodies arc forward in tight formation. The calm corridor of water becomes claimed space. The giant otters have noticed you. Unlike silent ambush predators that rely on concealment, giant otters are conspicuous, vocal, and coordinated. Their power lies not in stealth, but in social cohesion. Pteronura brasiliensis, the largest otter species on Earth, can exceed 2 meters in length, including the tail. Their bodies are muscular, streamlined for aquatic speed, covered in dense fur that traps insulating air. But their defining adaptation is not physical size alone. It is cooperation. Giant otters live in structured family groups centered around a breeding pair and their offspring from multiple years. Older juveniles assist in raising younger siblings, forming tight social units that defend defined territories along rivers and oxbow lakes. These territories are not abstract boundaries. They are functional zones containing dens, latrine sites, and prime fishing stretches. The river to them is owned. Dens are excavated into riverbanks, often beneath exposed root systems that stabilize soil and conceal entrances. Multiple openings may exist, but all connect directly to water, allowing rapid escape if threatened. Surrounding the den lies a defended buffer zone. Within this zone, pups learn to swim, adults hunt cooperatively, and the group rests between feeding bouts. When an unfamiliar presence enters that zone, assessment is immediate. One individual often surfaces first, head raised high, eyes fixed forward. A bark signals alert. Other group members respond instantly, rising from the water in near synchronization. Vocalizations shift rapidly in tone. Short barks become sharper, louder. The group compresses distance between members. Alignment tightens. This is not chaotic panic. It is coordinated mobilization. Giant otters maintain one of the most complex vocal repertoires among carnivorous mammals in South America. Distinct calls signal alarm, cohesion, aggression, and reassurance. Vocal communication allows rapid collective response without confusion. When defending territory, sound functions as both warning and psychological tool. The volume and intensity of synchronized barking can feel overwhelming at close range, even before physical proximity becomes threatening. The sudden explosive movement at the bank often triggers fear before contact occurs. Multiple bodies surge forward simultaneously, splashing powerfully, teeth visible, tails driving them in straight lines. The approach is fast, direct, and intentional. To a human observer, it can resemble a coordinated attack. In reality, it is territorial enforcement. Giant otters are primarily fish hunters. They rely heavily on vision, hunting during daylight hours when clarity is highest. Their eyes are well adapted for both air and water, and their whiskers help detect prey movement. During cooperative hunts, individuals fan out, driving fish toward shallower margins where escape becomes difficult. Coordination improves efficiency. Juveniles observe and participate, learning spatial tactics through repetition. This cooperative feeding behavior extends naturally into defense. A group accustomed to working in formation against prey can shift that coordination toward a perceived threat. The psychological effect of several large mammals advancing in unison amplifies perceived danger dramatically. The river becomes dangerous not because of hidden jaws, but because a group decides you are a problem. This decision intensifies when pups are present. Young otters are vulnerable to predators such as caimans and jaguars. The group invests heavily in pup survival. Older siblings guard while adults forage. Any large animal approaching the bank near a den is interpreted through the lens of offspring risk. During dry season, when water levels fall and channels narrow, territorial tension rises. Fish densities increase, making prime stretches of river more valuable. Neighboring otter groups may clash along boundary zones, and sensitivity to intrusion heightens. In compressed waterways, there is less space for retreat. Defensive thresholds drop. Humans entering narrow channels during these periods may inadvertently approach den sites without realizing it. Because dens are carved into banks beneath roots, entrances are often inconspicuous from the water. The first sign of proximity may be explosive vocalization. The risk in such encounters is escalation through misunderstanding. Panic movement, rapid paddling, shouting, standing abruptly can intensify the otter's response. Blocking their access to water or inadvertently cornering them against a bank increases perceived threat. In extreme cases, bites can occur. Giant otters possess strong jaws adapted for crushing fish skulls and can inflict serious injury. But physical contact is rarely the goal. The goal is removal of intrusion. Their strategy relies on confidence in numbers. A solitary predator might retreat from a larger animal. A coordinated group calculates differently. Even large caimans often avoid direct conflict with united otters. The social structure provides security. From an ecological perspective, this territorial behavior stabilizes river segments. By defending specific stretches, giant otters prevent overexploitation of local fish populations by other groups. Their presence influences prey distribution, which in turn shapes nutrient flow and vegetation patterns along banks. Their latrine sites, used repeatedly along territory edges, deposit nutrient-rich waste that fertilizes riverbank plants. These marked sites also function as communication hubs, broadcasting occupancy through scent. The river's loud owners maintain order through visibility and volume. Their thermoregulation is another layer of adaptation. Despite living in warm climates, prolonged immersion in water can lower body temperature. Their exceptionally dense fur traps air, providing insulation and buoyancy. They groom frequently to maintain this insulating layer. A compromised fur coat reduces thermal efficiency, affecting hunting endurance and pup care. Social cohesion extends beyond aggression. During rest periods, group members remain close, grooming and vocalizing softly. Contact calls maintain awareness even when submerged. This constant acoustic network ensures that when alarm is triggered, response is immediate. For humans navigating Amazon waterways, the safety protocol is spatial respect. Maintain distance from groups, especially if multiple individuals surface repeatedly near the same bank. Do not approach areas where slides in mud indicate den entrances. Avoid narrow channels where retreat space is limited. If confronted, withdraw slowly and steadily. Do not attempt to dominate the encounter. Allow the group to hold its formation without further provocation. The explosive bark that begins the encounter is a gift of clarity. It tells you the boundary has been crossed. Unlike silent ambush predators, giant otters announce their intentions. They prefer warning over attack. Their aggression is structured, targeted, and context-dependent. Standing in a canoe in a narrow Amazon channel, when bronze bodies surge forward and water erupts around you, the experience is visceral. The river feels suddenly owned, defined not by current, but by social will. The threat is not teeth in darkness, but collective assertion. The Amazon can become dangerous because of hidden fields, buried spines, or silent coils. With giant otters, it becomes dangerous because a family unit decides to defend what is theirs. The sound comes first. The alignment follows. And in that moment, the safest response is not confrontation, but recognition. Give them the channel. They were here first. The channel narrows almost without warning. What began as a broad, slow-moving river gradually compresses between leaning banks where exposed roots hang like submerged scaffolding. Fallen trunks create partial dams. Flooded grasses form tight corridors through waist-deep water. From the surface, nothing appears dramatic. The water is still. The current is minimal. The space feels contained, almost sheltered. It is in these constrictions that the anaconda becomes most powerful. The green anaconda, Eunectes murinus, is not built for pursuit across distance. On land, its immense mass, often exceeding 5 meters in length and well over 100 kilograms, moves with deliberate heaviness. But in water, gravity loosens its grip. Buoyancy distributes that weight evenly, transforming bulk into stability. What appears slow on land becomes almost frictionless beneath the surface. The anaconda is not a sprinter. It is a strategist of space. Its nostrils and eyes sit high on the skull, allowing most of the body to remain submerged while the head barely breaks the surface. In tannin-dark Amazon water, even that subtle ridge of scale blends easily into floating debris. A branch, a ripple, a shadow, distinguishing living mass from background becomes unreliable. But stealth is only one part of the equation. The true advantage lies in positioning. Animals entering or exiting water rarely choose random points. Deer, capybaras, peccaries, even humans gravitate toward predictable slopes where footing is stable. These entry and exit lanes become etched into the riverbank over time. Mud worn smooth, vegetation bent down, sand compacted by repeated use. To prey, these are safe access points. To anaconda, they are fixed coordinates in a dynamic environment. The snake aligns itself along these lanes. In narrow channels bordered by roots, lateral escape space shrinks. In flooded grass corridors, visibility drops and movement funnels naturally along single pathways. In shallow backwaters where sand shelves drop abruptly into deeper troughs, animals pause at the edge before committing. The anaconda does not need to patrol constantly. It needs to occupy the hinge points of movement. Murky water magnifies its advantage. Depth perception collapses in brown water. Objects appear closer or farther than they are. A submerged body lying parallel to the bank may be indistinguishable from the riverbed itself. Without surface disturbance, the human brain defaults to assumption. No ripple means no presence. But the anaconda does not create ripples. It remains motionless, often partially anchored around submerged roots or logs. This anchoring provides leverage. When a target steps into water within striking distance, the snake does not launch across open space. It extends only as far as necessary. The strike is short. Backward curved teeth secure initial grip. These teeth are not built for slicing. They are built for holding. Once purchase is established, the body follows instantly. Coils wrap in rapid succession, each loop guided by muscular precision refined over millions of years of evolution. Constriction is frequently misunderstood as bone-crushing force. In reality, its primary mechanism is circulatory and respiratory restriction. Each time prey exhales, the coils tighten incrementally. Blood flow is restricted. Oxygen delivery drops. Within minutes, often far less, unconsciousness follows. Speed is irrelevant. Distance is irrelevant. The anaconda needs one clamp at the right moment. Bottlenecks increase the probability of that moment aligning. In open floodplain water, prey have options. Multiple escape vectors, room to accelerate, visibility to detect surface disturbance. In root-laced channels or grass corridors, options narrow. The environment itself limits reaction angles. Panic movement collides with structure. Momentum becomes entanglement. This is the root lane ambush. Thermoregulation adds another layer. As an ectotherm, the anaconda depends on external heat sources to regulate metabolism. Shallow, sun-warmed water absorbs and retains heat more efficiently than deeper channels. Flooded grasses trap warm water along their edges. Muddy banks radiate stored heat. By positioning in these zones, the snake maintains muscular readiness without excessive energy expenditure. Energy economy defines its strategy. A large constrictor may feed infrequently, digesting a substantial meal for weeks. During digestion, metabolic demand increases dramatically. The snake becomes less mobile and more vulnerable. Therefore, each feeding opportunity must justify risk. Selecting narrow, predictable corridors reduces uncertainty. Prey diversity in these habitats is high. Capybaras approach to drink. Deer wade in cautiously. Juvenile caimans transition between basking sites and deeper water. Even large birds forage along margins. All must use water entry points. All must commit body weight before retreat becomes possible. Murky water further distorts reaction timing. Humans stepping into brown channels often underestimate how close they are to deeper troughs or submerged structure. What appears knee-deep may drop suddenly. What appears clear of obstruction may conceal logs beneath the surface. The same perceptual limitations that disadvantage prey advantage the anaconda. The psychological dimension is subtle but powerful. Still, water signals safety to human observers. We associate disturbance with threat. But the absence of surface movement does not equal absence of mass beneath it. A 200-pound body can lie inches below the surface without generating visible ripple if motionless. This creates a dangerous assumption. No ripple equals safe. Entry and exit points are the most critical risk zones. Animals hesitate there. Humans linger there, washing hands, adjusting equipment, scanning surroundings. That hesitation extends exposure time. The anaconda relies not on speed, but on the predictability of pause. Avoiding risk requires reading spatial compression rather than scanning for visible predators. Wide, open banks with gradual slopes and clear lateral space offer more escape angles. Narrow, root-choked channels reduce them. Flooded grass corridors funnel movement. Sand shelves with sharp drop-offs create transition zones where animals pause and commit weight. Do not linger at these hinge points. The anaconda's role in the ecosystem extends beyond dramatic strikes. As one of the largest predators in the system, it influences prey movement patterns. Capybaras and deer alter drinking routes in regions where large constrictors are common. Juvenile caimans remain closer to vegetated cover. These subtle behavioral shifts cascade into vegetation impact, nutrient cycling, and spatial distribution across floodplains. The snake is not chaotic violence. It is structural force. There is a quiet irony in how little motion defines such a large predator. The Amazon is filled with sound. Cicadas, birds, insects, flowing water. Yet one of its most powerful hunters operates through stillness. The mechanics are internal: muscle tension, coil preparation, alignment. Standing at the edge of a narrow Amazon channel, the water may appear lifeless, brown, opaque, reflective. But beneath that surface, geometry determines power. Roots create lanes. Lanes create predictability. Predictability creates opportunity. The anaconda does not chase through chaos. It waits where chaos compresses into inevitability. Move wide when possible. Avoid narrow, debris-filled waterways. Do not assume that calm surface water equals unoccupied water. In murky channels, distance is deceptive. What seems several meters away may be within striking range. The Amazon does not need spectacle to be dangerous. Sometimes it only needs structure and patience. And in the root lanes of the river, patience weighs more than speed. At the edge of the Amazon, the river does not reveal itself easily. The water is thick with tannins leached from fallen leaves and soaked bark, turning it the color of brewed tea. Suspended sediment hangs in the current, blurring every outline beneath the surface. Depth becomes ambiguous. A branch below might be shallow or much deeper than it appears. The riverbank slopes gently in places, then drops abruptly into darker channels where light disappears entirely. It is in these shallow margins, where roots descend like submerged architecture and the current loosens its grip, that the electric eel finds dominance. This is not a predator built for pursuit across open water. It is a predator built for perception. The electric eel, though commonly called an eel, is actually a large knifefish. Its body stretches long and cylindrical, sometimes exceeding 2 meters, and most of that length is not devoted to muscle for speed, but to electricity. Over 80% of its body mass is composed of specialized electrocytes, modified muscle cells arranged in stacked columns. When activated simultaneously, these cells generate coordinated electrical discharge. The eel carries within it a system more often associated with engineered devices than living tissue. It operates with 2 electrical modes. The first is subtle, low-voltage pulses emitted continuously. These pulses create an electric field that extends outward in all directions. Water conducts electricity efficiently, and any conductive object within that field bends it slightly. Fish, amphibians, crustaceans, even a human leg, distort the pattern. The eel interprets these distortions not as vague signals, but as structured information. It reads size, it reads distance, it reads movement. In the murky Amazon, where vision fails within centimeters, this ability transforms the environment. Shallow margins filled with fallen branches and root tangles are chaotic landscapes for sight-based predators. Light scatters unpredictably. Shadows overlap. But to the eel, clutter is clarity. Geometry compresses movement. Fish that believe they are concealed within roots are actually framed within a three-dimensional electrical map. When a fish flicks its tail, even slightly, that muscular contraction produces a distinct distortion in the field. The eel detects it instantly. This is where the concept of the invisible electric fence becomes real. The eel does not need to patrol aggressively. It rests in places where movement is predictable: narrow side channels, shallow backwaters, submerged tree roots. During dry seasons, when river levels fall and fish become concentrated in shrinking pools, these areas become even more valuable. Oxygen levels fluctuate. Competition increases. Prey are stressed and compressed. The eel waits inside that compression. When a target drifts within range, escalation is immediate. High voltage bursts, sometimes exceeding 600 volts in large individuals, are released in rapid sequences. These are not random shocks. They are precisely timed discharges that directly stimulate the prey's motor neurons. The result is involuntary muscle contraction. The prey loses control of its body. It cannot coordinate escape because its nervous system is being overridden. In open water, stunned prey might thrash unpredictably. But in tight root systems, that involuntary contraction drives the body into structure. Escape routes narrow instantly. The eel often curls its own body around the prey, bringing its head and tail closer together. This posture increases the electrical gradient passing through the target, intensifying the effect. Immobilization follows within seconds. This is why speed is irrelevant. The eel does not need to outrun prey. It interrupts it. The same system serves as defense. In shallow banks, when confronted by a larger animal, the eel may rear vertically, pressing its chin against the threat while delivering sustained high-voltage discharge. In water, muscle control is everything. Even brief disruption can cause a predator to recoil. The goal is not necessarily lethal damage, it is confusion and space. Humans enter these margins assuming sight equals awareness. That assumption fails here. Every step through muddy shallows generates electrical disturbance. Muscles firing to maintain balance create conductive signatures in the water. Toes gripping sediment, calves adjusting to uneven ground. Each contraction alters the electrical field around an eel if one is nearby. Grabbing a submerged branch for stability introduces a strong conductive object directly into the system. What appears to be empty brown water may already contain a predator that has mapped you completely. The danger intensifies in debris-filled pockets where roots create enclosed geometry. These spaces are natural prey traps. Fish enter seeking refuge and become electrically pinned. If a human limb enters the same pocket, the eel may respond defensively to sudden close-range disturbance. Seasonal flooding complicates this further. During high water periods, the forest itself becomes submerged. Trunks rise from standing water. Fruit falls directly into flooded understory. Fish move between tree bases, feeding. The eel navigates this submerged forest with precision, using echolocation to move through branches without collision. In these environments, even experienced observers struggle to judge depth or structure. The eel does not struggle. It reads the field. Ecologically, its influence extends beyond individual strikes. By targeting fish concentrated in shallow refuges, it shapes microhabitat dynamics. Injured prey may attract secondary scavengers, redistributing nutrients locally. The eel itself relies heavily on atmospheric oxygen and must surface periodically to gulp air. This adaptation ties it behaviorally to shallow, stagnant margins, where oxygen in the water is often low, but air access is easy. Its physiology anchors it exactly where humans often assume safety. The irony is sharp. People perceive shallow water as low risk. Deep channels feel dangerous. But shallow brown edges contain compressed geometry, reduced visibility, and concentrated prey, all conditions that favor the eel. The invisible fence is not metaphorical. It is a functional boundary defined by electrical perception. When you cross into it, you are already detected. Safety here is about reducing disturbance and limiting proximity. Enter water slowly. Slide feet rather than lifting and stomping. Avoid sudden splashing. Keep hands above water when navigating root tangles. Do not assume that still water means unoccupied water. Electrical fields operate without surface indication. The Amazon teaches repeatedly that perception is species-specific. What you cannot see may still be fully aware of you. The electric eel embodies this principle more clearly than almost any other animal in the system. It converts conductivity into dominance. It turns murk into clarity. Standing at the river's edge, the water seems passive, almost quiet. But beneath that opacity lies a network of fields and distortions, a living sensor array extending outward from a body that has evolved to weaponize electricity. You may not see it, but if you enter carelessly, it will already know exactly where you are. At first glance, nothing in the Amazon looks more reassuring than a sandbar lined with river turtles. They rest in stillness, dark shells catching sunlight, necks extended in quiet confidence. Some balance on half-submerged logs, stacked one atop another like stones placed carefully by hand. Others lie spaced along pale sand shelves, eyes half-lidded, absorbing warmth without urgency. When disturbed, they slide back into the water with soft, almost polite splashes. The scene feels gentle, harmless, even domestic in its calm. And that is precisely where misinterpretation begins. The Amazon river turtle, species such as Podocnemis uniphilis and the larger Podocnemis expansa, is not a warning sign of safety. It is an indicator of structure. Where turtles gather, certain environmental conditions exist. Those conditions create opportunity, not only for turtles, but for many other species operating within the same layered system. To understand why turtle presence can mislead, it is necessary to look beneath the calm surface. River turtles select specific habitats for basking and nesting. They prefer shallow sand shelves with gradual slopes where sunlight reaches the substrate. These areas warm quickly under direct sun. As ectothermic reptiles, turtles rely on external heat sources to regulate body temperature. Basking elevates metabolic efficiency, accelerates digestion, and supports immune function. Without access to warmth, their physiology slows. The sandbar is therefore not decorative. It is essential. But the sandbar is never isolated. It exists in relationship to depth gradients. Just beyond the pale shelf often lies a darker drop-off, a trough carved by current where water deepens abruptly. Submerged logs accumulate along these transition zones. Debris gathers where flow slows. Small fish feed along edges where nutrients settle. Turtle presence signals this precise combination. Shallow warmth adjacent to structural depth. And structural depth invites layers of life. Fish congregate near drop-offs because they provide refuge and feeding opportunity. Caimans patrol these same edges, using darker water as concealment while watching the shallows. Large predatory fish cruise beneath sand shelves where prey enter and exit. Even terrestrial predators recognize turtle nesting beaches as seasonal hotspots. The peaceful tableau masks a dynamic intersection. When turtles bask, they do so with caution, refined over evolutionary time. Their eyes remain alert. Vibrations along the bank trigger immediate retreat. At the first sign of significant disturbance, they drop into water in coordinated motion. That synchronized slide is not random panic. It is a collective survival reflex against aerial predators such as raptors and terrestrial hunters such as jaguars. Humans often interpret this behavior as evidence that nothing dangerous is nearby. The turtles seem relaxed until approached. Therefore, the area must be safe. But turtles relax because they understand the structure intimately. They know the slope beneath them. They know where depth begins. They know how quickly they can disappear. A person stepping into water near a basking colony does not share that knowledge. The structural features that attract turtles are the same features that compress movement for other species. Entry and exit points between land and water become etched into sand through repeated use. Vegetation bends along predictable paths. Logs lie partially submerged, creating shaded undercuts where sediment accumulates. These undercuts are ideal concealment for ambush predators. The turtle does not create danger. It reveals habitat richness. Nesting season intensifies this dynamic. Female river turtles migrate along rivers to reach traditional sandbanks exposed during falling water levels. They travel considerable distances to lay clutches of eggs in carefully selected sites above the high water mark. These nesting beaches become ecological nodes. Eggs attract predators. Jaguars, foxes, vultures, and large lizards patrol these sites during incubation season. When hatchlings emerge, often in synchronized waves triggered by rainfall or temperature shifts, dozens or hundreds scramble toward water simultaneously. The sudden movement creates intense predator-prey interaction. Fish wait offshore. Caimans linger in deeper water. The shoreline becomes a temporary arena of concentrated risk. From a human perspective, the beach still appears calm outside these peak events. Turtles resting on sand imply stability. Yet beneath that calm lies predictable traffic between land and water, a feature ambush predators exploit. The concept of the false safety indicator is psychological as much as ecological. Humans tend to equate visible herbivorous or non-threatening wildlife with environmental security. If turtles are present and unbothered, the reasoning goes, then no significant threat can exist. But turtles are armored reptiles with specific defensive strategies. Their hard shells protect against many attacks. Their vigilance and rapid water entry compensate for slow land mobility. They are adapted to coexist with risk layers. Their presence does not eliminate those layers. Reading turtle habitat correctly requires attention to structure rather than emotion. Observe the slope of the sand shelf. Does it drop sharply beyond a certain point? Notice submerged logs extending from shore. These logs may appear inert, but beneath them, sediment pockets form where fish feed and predators hide. Look at vegetation along narrow edges. Do paths funnel into confined water lanes? Are there darker patches beyond pale sand indicating depth change? These features matter more than the calm posture of basking turtles. Turtles themselves contribute to ecosystem function in subtle ways. As omnivores, they consume aquatic vegetation, fruits and invertebrates, helping regulate plant growth and nutrient cycling. Their nesting behavior aerates sandbanks, influencing microhabitat composition. Hatchling emergence provides seasonal pulses of biomass that sustain predators. Even their basking contributes to nutrient transfer when they defecate along banks, fertilizing shoreline vegetation. They are not passive ornaments. They are participants in a complex web. Their selection of habitat is based on thermoregulation, predator avoidance, and reproductive success. Those criteria overlap with features attractive to many other species. Warm shallows draw fish. Structural edges draw ambush predators. Stable sandbanks draw terrestrial traffic. The overlap creates layered risk. During high water flood seasons, turtles disperse into inundated forests, feeding among submerged tree trunks. When waters recede, they reconcentrate along exposed sandbars. This seasonal migration shifts predator attention accordingly. Where turtles gather in numbers, other species adjust movement patterns. Standing on a sunlit sandbar beside resting turtles, the temptation is to lower vigilance. The scene radiates calm. But calm is not absence. It is balance. A turtle sliding silently into deeper water reveals something important. There is depth close by. There is an escape route mapped into the slope. There is a structural edge beneath the surface that you cannot see from above. The safer approach is observational literacy. Do not treat peaceful wildlife as proof of safety. Instead, treat it as information. Ask what habitat features allow turtles to thrive here. Identify those features. Consider what other species use them. Avoid narrow edges where vegetation funnels movement. Step carefully near submerged logs. Do not assume uniform depth beyond a sand shelf. Recognize that predictable traffic points where animals enter and exit water are predictable to predators as well. The Amazon does not hide danger behind constant violence. It hides it within structure. Turtles are not warning signs in the dramatic sense. They are ecological indicators. They tell you the water is shallow here. They tell you warmth reaches the bottom. They tell you there is stable substrate. They also tell you that depth, cover and movement intersect nearby. The false safety lies not in their behavior, but in our interpretation of it. Peaceful wildlife does not certify safe terrain. It certifies functional habitat. And functional habitat in the Amazon always carries layers. Read the layers. The shallows feel like relief. After dark channels and submerged roots, the sandbar looks almost gentle. The current softens as it spreads thin across pale sediment. The water warms here under open sky. The bottom appears even, almost inviting. It is the kind of place where people wade without tension, where fishermen clean their catch, where animals step down to drink. In the Amazon, however, comfort is rarely an ecological guarantee. It is often a structural signal. Beneath that smooth sand lies a body designed to disappear. Freshwater stingrays of the Amazon basin, members of the Potamotrygonidae family, live pressed against the river floor. Their bodies are flattened discs, broad and muscular, shaped like living leaves settled into sediment. Their coloration mirrors the substrate, mottled browns, sandy yellows, irregular speckling that breaks outline and dissolves edges. But camouflage alone is not enough. They complete the illusion through burial. With subtle rippling motions of their pectoral fins, stingrays lift silt and allow it to settle over their backs. Within seconds, only their eyes and spiracles remain visible. To a predator scanning from above, or to a human stepping into the water, the ray ceases to exist as a distinct shape. It becomes topography. This burial behavior serves multiple functions at once. It is camouflage against predators such as caimans and large catfish. It is an ambush platform for prey like small fish, crustaceans, and benthic invertebrates. And it is a respiratory solution in an environment where sediment could otherwise clog delicate gill structures. Unlike many fish, stingrays draw water in primarily through spiracles positioned behind their eyes when resting on the bottom. Water passes over the gills and exits beneath the body. This system allows them to remain buried without inhaling sand directly through the mouth. In slow-moving, oxygen-variable shallows, this is critical. They can remain concealed and breathing efficiently at the same time. The sandbar, therefore, is not passive terrain. It is habitat. From above, the surface remains calm. A deer might step into the shallows to drink. A capybara might enter slowly, testing the substrate. A human might assume the firm sand means stability, but the river does not recognize intention. It recognizes pressure. When a foot comes down directly onto the buried disc of a stingray, the animal experiences what, in evolutionary terms, reads as predation. It is being pinned from above. In that moment, the ray does not assess species. It responds reflexively. The tail, long and whip-like, arches upward with sudden force. Along it lies a serrated spine, sometimes more than one, composed of hard, dentin-like material. This spine is not used for hunting. Rays do not stab prey. It is a defensive apparatus, deployed only when contact is unavoidable. The motion is fast, precise, and upward. The spine drives into the intruding object, often a foot or lower leg, and just as quickly retracts. The damage it causes is not simple puncture. The barb is lined with backward-facing serrations. As it penetrates tissue, those serrations create tearing rather than clean entry. When withdrawn, they widen the wound channel. In many cases, fragments of the sheath covering the spine break off inside the wound. Glandular tissue along the spine introduces venom components that intensify pain and inflammatory response. The result is a complex injury: puncture, laceration, envenomation, and contamination. In the warm, bacteria-rich waters of the Amazon, infection risk compounds rapidly. Organic debris, microbial life, and fragments from the spine itself create ideal conditions for bacterial proliferation. The injury is not catastrophic because of venom potency alone. It is devastating because of mechanical trauma layered with environmental exposure. The irony is that stingrays do not hunt large animals. They are not aggressive in the predatory sense. Their feeding behavior is subtle. They use electroreception, specialized sensory organs that detect weak electrical fields generated by prey to locate buried invertebrates beneath the sand. A crab shifting beneath sediment produces faint bioelectric signals. The ray senses it. With a quick downward bite and suction, prey is extracted. It is a precise, energy-efficient strategy. But burial comes with risk. A concealed ray cannot always see what approaches from above. Camouflage increases survival against visual predators, but reduces reaction time when stepped on. The defensive strike compensates for that vulnerability. Sandbars are preferred zones because they combine feeding opportunity, oxygen access, and thermal benefit. Shallow water warms more quickly, supporting metabolic efficiency in ectothermic animals. Rays can regulate body temperature partially by selecting depth gradients. In cooler mornings, shallower zones allow passive warming. During intense midday heat, they may shift slightly deeper where temperatures stabilize. These same sandbars are crossing points for terrestrial animals. They are launch points for small boats. They are attractive wading areas because the substrate feels predictable. The overlap is structural, not intentional. Human injury from stingrays almost always results from sudden downward stepping. Running through shallow water increases impact force and reduces reaction time. Lifting feet and planting them blindly concentrates pressure directly onto buried discs. Stepping over half-submerged logs at the waterline introduces another layer of risk. Downstream of those logs, sediment often accumulates into soft pockets, ideal burial zones. A foot landing there compresses both silt and the animal beneath it. The river punishes that ignorance efficiently. The prevention method is deceptively simple and profoundly effective. The stingray shuffle. Rather than lifting feet, one slides them forward along the substrate. The motion pushes sediment gently ahead, creating vibration and disturbance before full weight is applied. A buried ray senses the approach and often swims away before contact occurs. The shuffle converts a surprise compression into an early warning signal. It also reduces vertical force. Instead of stepping downward with full body weight, sliding distributes pressure more gradually. The difference between a downward stomp and a forward glide can determine whether the tail whips or the ray escapes quietly. Never sprint in shallow silt. Sudden acceleration multiplies pressure and chaos. Never step blindly over logs at water edges. Probe first or go around. Never assume that firm sand equals empty ground. There is a broader ecological lesson embedded here. The Amazon is structured around layers: surface calm, subsurface complexity, sediment concealment. Animals adapt to those layers in different ways. The stingray adapts by merging into the ground itself. What looks like neutral terrain is often occupied habitat. When people describe stingray injuries, they often focus on pain. The pain is real and intense, but the more important story is behavioral alignment. The injury is not random aggression. It is the predictable outcome of stepping into a camouflage system without reading it. In ecological terms, stingrays are both predator and prey, ambush hunter and defensive reactor. Their presence signals stable sediment, oxygen-sufficient shallows, and productive benthic zones. Those signals overlap with human preference for accessible river entry points. The sand does not warn. It absorbs. Standing at the water's edge, the shallows appear calm and manageable. But beneath that pale surface lie organisms evolved to become indistinguishable from ground. The moment pressure crosses a threshold, defense activates. The Amazon does not care about intention. It responds to physics. Slide your feet. Slow your pace. Read the structure beneath the surface rather than the surface itself, because in these waters, the sand is not empty. It is alive. The water is low, and the river feels tighter than it should. Where the Amazon once spread wide across floodplain forest, it now withdraws into defined channels and isolated pools. Sandbanks widen. Side lagoons shrink. Fish that were dispersed across kilometers of flooded forest are compressed into pockets of warm, slowly circulating water. From the surface, these pools appear calm, almost quiet. Small silver bodies flicker just beneath the surface. Dragonflies skim the air. Nothing suggests chaos, but compression changes everything. Piranhas do not live in a permanent state of frenzy. The image of skeletonized prey in seconds belongs more to myth than biology. Most of the time, piranhas are cautious, opportunistic omnivores. Many species feed heavily on fruit during flood season, consuming seeds dropped from submerged trees and acting as unexpected agents of seed dispersal. Others scavenge, nibble fins, or hunt small fish in measured bursts. They are efficient but not irrational. The danger rises when the system itself is stressed. During low water periods, fish densities increase dramatically. Oxygen levels fluctuate as decomposing plant matter consumes dissolved oxygen in stagnant zones. Warm temperatures accelerate metabolism in ectothermic bodies, raising energetic demand. Competition sharpens. Under these conditions, the margin between opportunism and aggression narrows. The cascade begins not with hunger alone, but with signal. Water carries chemical information with remarkable efficiency. When a fish is injured, even slightly, blood and damaged tissue release amino acids and other organic compounds into the surrounding water. These molecules disperse outward in gradients. In large, well-circulated systems, dilution reduces intensity quickly. In confined pools and narrow backwaters, the gradient remains concentrated. Piranhas possess highly developed olfactory systems. Their nostrils, located just above the mouth, draw in water continuously for chemical analysis. A faint trace of tissue damage can be detected at distance. But scent alone does not trigger immediate frenzy. It attracts investigation. Vibration completes the signal. All fish possess a lateral line system, rows of sensory cells running along the sides of the body that detect minute pressure changes in water. Piranhas are particularly attuned to erratic movement. A healthy fish swimming smoothly generates predictable hydrodynamic patterns. An injured fish produces chaotic bursts, sharp accelerations followed by loss of control. These irregular vibrations travel efficiently through water. When chemical cues overlap with erratic vibration, the threshold shifts. One piranha approaches cautiously. It circles. A quick investigative bite tests vulnerability. That bite creates more tissue damage. More chemical signal enters the water. The prey thrashes harder, generating more vibration. Nearby piranhas detect both signals simultaneously. They move in. Within seconds, the behavioral atmosphere of the pool changes. What was calm becomes kinetic. Multiple bodies converge. Biting becomes less tentative. Movement amplifies itself. This is the blood scent cascade. It is not mindless frenzy. It is feedback. The confined geometry of low-water pools intensifies it further. Escape routes are limited. Prey density is high. Each new bite contributes additional chemical information. The cascade is self-reinforcing until the stimulus disappears, either because prey is consumed or because disturbance dissipates. Under flood conditions, the same injury might attract only one or two fish. Signals disperse into vast flooded forests. Space reduces interaction frequency. But in dry season compression, everything accelerates. Human behavior can unintentionally trigger these thresholds. Cleaning fish directly in shallow water introduces concentrated blood and tissue fragments into confined zones. Even small amounts can establish a strong chemical plume. If that activity occurs where fish are already densely packed, it effectively seeds the cascade. Splashing compounds the effect. Thrashing legs or panicked movement in shallow pools generates irregular vibration patterns similar to distressed prey. Piranhas do not interpret intention. They interpret hydrodynamics. Erratic